Welcome back to week 4 of the Smogon Summer Seasonal. I know I say this every week, guys, but this game, even crazier than the last one, alright? Jumping straight into the matchup. My opponent, Dr. Geo, cropped out of my screenshot here, but this is their team. They have Iron Valiant, Raging Bolt, Hisuian Samurai, Jirachi, Talonflame, Rhyperior, Miss Magius, and Gloom, with Raging Bolt and Rhyperior being your Terra captains. Looking at this matchup, the third Raging Bolt out of 4 weeks, which is really annoying because I hate this matchup against Raging Bolt. They have Iron Valiant, which is super versatile and pretty strong, although not too overwhelming. Samurai, the classic Brain Dead, lead it, quick Ceaseless Edge, get the spikes up. Jirachi can be a whole grab bag of shit. Talonflame, which is really annoying for Rillaboom and Sneasler. Rhyperior, which is honestly looks horrible into my team. And even though it's a Terra captain, it's Raging Bolt is so much better that I feel like you won't bring Rhyperior. It just doesn't make that much sense. Loses 1v1 to almost everything except Registeel. And then Miss Magius is it's alright. It's a spin blocker. It's fast. That's pretty much it. And then Gloom is they had 1 point left, so they went with Gloom, I guess. I wouldn't really know. It's a T-Spec Absorber, so that's cool. So, Chiyu always looks great with specs. Samurai, unfortunately, can eat my hits very well because of its dual typing. Well, actually, it can't eat them very well, but if it's a little bulky, maybe with Assault Vest, it can be a little harder to KO. Rillaboom is completely cockblocked by Talonflame and Gloom. So Rillaboom's kind of hard to really put in a ton of work here. Sneasler actually looks pretty good. Most things just crumble to +2 Dire Claw or SD. So definitely a win con there. Primarina actually goes really well into this team. Although I theorized that they were going to be a Spadef Jirachi, specifically for Primarina. Because pretty much everything else can't really switch into it at all. Unfortunately, Raging Bolt pretty much always revenge kills it, which makes it kind of hard to go super crazy with, but it's still pretty good here. Can trade. Donphan is Rapid Spinner for the Samurai hazards, and also rocks from either Jirachi or Rhyperior. Although it does get kind of tricky with Miss Magius, knowing when to Rapid Spinner and when not to. And also Talonflame kind of wants it to shit. Guard, really good. Salt Cure does its thing. Terra type can make it wall certain mons. Sinisha also looks pretty good here with Terra. The problem is that it's going to compete with Guard for Terra slot, which can be tricky, but it's still pretty good here. And then Registeel looks as bad as usual. So anyway, right into the team. Here we go. First pick, obviously, check Choice Specs Chiyu. Just to blast everything in the pad, Modest, because the only thing that could outspeed us by not going Timid is a Jirachi, but I was really confident that they weren't going to run max speed Jirachi, so I settled on Modest. And then this, it speaks for itself, we run the stats pretty self-explanatory. AV Rillaboom makes their return with the same set we used week 1 and week 2, I think. We use the same set both times. Assault Vest, Crystal Rod, Woodhammer, High Horsepower, U-Turn, Max HP, Max Attack, meant to hopefully kind of ease into the, Raging Bolt matchup. Maybe eat an electric move, High Horsepower for some chip, weaken it for something like Chiyu or Sneasler. Also could eat some Moonblast from Iron Valiant. So yeah, that's why we are donning the Assault Vest. Sneasler, running the same set again as from week 1 with the Grassy Seed, Dire Claw plus Combo Upper Hand, although this time we're running no speed, max HP. And I thought about this for a while. I debated not running Grassy Seed at all and just running max speed Sneasler, because the only thing that would outspeed it would be Booster Valiant and Talonflame. And I was like, it would be pretty good. It could function outside of its one time on Burden Boost. Maybe set up a T-Spike could be really cool, but I ended up just going on Burden because I thought the max the max HP would help me just get an SD off and sweep easier. So that's why I went with that. Primarina is Boots Calm Mind. Finally whipping out Calm Mind. Yeah, Boots Calm Mind, Jesus. Max HP, max special attack. If we get enough Calm Minds, we can really do some damage and get HP back with Draining Kiss. Problems though, Jirachi being faster and bulky especially, and then like Iron Head pushing us to death, and then Raging Bolt coming in to revenge kill us. We would need a lot of Calm Minds to 1v1 the Raging Bolt. So, still pretty good though. Next mon, Donphan. Heavy duty boots, sturdy, and then we're running high horsepower knock rapid spin, which are pretty much guaranteed. Once again, high horsepower because of Rillaboom grassy terrain. And then we're running Endeavor, which I thought about running Stone Edge for Talonflame, but I thought about it and I'm like, seems kind of niche. Maybe Endeavor, you can, like, if I'm in on Raging Bolt, it hits me with a Giga Dragon move, and then I Endeavor it, bring it down to 1 HP, and then clean it up with like Rillaboom or Sneasler priority. So that was the idea behind Endeavor. You know, pretty niche, but like it could come in clutch, super clutch. And then last but not least, our Terra Captain of Garganackle, the third pair of Tims. Purifying Salt, of course. Salt Cure, Recover, Protect, Stealth Rock, the classic Garg set. I think I've used every time I've used Garg. And this time we're running Max Speed F for Raging Bolt and Iron Valiant. Terra type Poison, specifically, it walls both of Iron Valiant stabs, and also it's not weak to anything that they could really have besides Rhyperior. But like I said, I was really confident that they weren't going to bring Rhyperior, which is why I went for Terra Poison. I wanted to go Terra Fairy, but Jirachi Iron Head was just like, was really messing me up. That's why I didn't run Terra Fairy, because I just didn't want to get pwned by that. And Terra Poison is like a really just solid defensive type, loses to nothing, so I thought, hell, let's run it. So that's the team for this week. Some returning sets, mostly returning sets, although some new sets too. So let's jump right into the fun game. Something I forgot to mention in the team building draft, but I watched this guy's past 3 games for week 1, 2, and 3, and I got a bit of information. Mostly that Iron Valiant and Raging Bolt have never been booster, and that Talonflame is pretty much always defensive flamethrower. So that also like went into my team building process a little bit. That's why I didn't run any speed on Sneasler, because I was like, they're not gonna be booster. Although I'm actually faster without speed. But that's, I don't know. Anyway, fucking whatever. Getting into the game. I know they're gonna lead Samurai because that's what you do with Hosui and Samurai. So I lead my trusty Rillaboom. And in past games, they were Sash, so I thought maybe they're Sash here and they're just gonna stay in Ceaseless Edge. So I wanted to like for sure get a strong hit off. So I go for Glassy Glide, but they end up going into Talonflame. And I get lucky, I don't get burned here by Flame Body. I go into Guard because it walls it to shit as a U-turn out into Raging Bolt. And once again, it's not Photosynthesis. They will switch out as I don't Terra, which is kind of a mistake because if I got forced out here for some reason, I wouldn't be Terra Poison, I'd be shitty Terra Rock type, which could be bad if I need to switch into like Jirachi or Valiant or Samurai. So kind of a bad play not Terra here, but luckily it doesn't really end up mattering. I saw Cure on the Jirachi as they revealed to be the dreaded Covert Cloak, so this Jirachi completely walls me. Terra Poison on the U-turn as they go back into Raging Bolt, and I set up Stealth Rocks to start chipping them down. They Terra Dragon Pulse, but that shit bounces off because I'm max spec D. Get some grassy terrain too. They go for it again as I recover once more, putting me almost at full. They will switch out here as I Salt Cure again into Jirachi, which does jack shit, so not great. I go hard Chiyu expecting Stealth Rocks, and I do get the play right, and now I get to get a big hit off. I go for Flamethrower, just because it's pretty much the same play, because Simrod's coming out, it does marginally more damage, it can burn, and it doesn't allow something like Iron Valiant to come in 4x resist Dark Pulse. So I Flamethrower. And this damage, 41%, that is for sure is Assault Vest, which explains why they switched out on the Rillaboom Grassy Grind. So they're revealed to be Assault Vest, which is kind of annoying. I switch out into Donphan as they go for a Cecil Sedge, getting a Spike Up. And now this dreaded 50-50 comes up. OU players know exactly what I'm talking about. Do you Rapid Spin on the Ghost type, or do you quick Knockoff from this as they go into it? I opt to go for Knockoff, but I get the fucking player wrong. Their Razor Shell do a shit ton, and I do nothing back. The Assault Vest gets flung off, and I just sack Donphan. So Donphan really does absolutely nothing this game, and I have to play with Hazards up now, but we will do our best. They go back into Samurai, and I really thought they would Cecil Sedge. I don't know why though. And I know they're getting U-turn here, which is why I stay in and U-turn myself to get momentum. So they end up sacking Samurai as I go into Garganacl, which is pretty cool for myself because nothing can really threaten this. The only thing is that Jirachi can be annoying, but that's about it. I recover there, and then I protect, and they reveal to be Encore, which puts me in a tricky spot. I stay in, knowing they're going to Body Slam on me switching to Chiyu. Get the Salt Cure off. Does nothing there. They heal it all back. Protect here on the Body Slam. And then, now I go Chiyu, expecting an Encore, and I get the play right once again. So now I get more damage on something. They end up sacking Jirachi because anything else would have been a kill. Raging Bolt comes out, and I know I two-shot this with Flamethrower, so I just click it again, but they get a Citrus Berry and knock me out. So the ship is good, although Citrus Berry is kind of annoying. Guard comes out, just a quick Salt Cure because nothing can really take it anymore. They go Miss Magius, Sucker does a good amount, and they trick me a Choice Scarf, which is really shitty as I recover here. So now Garg is kind of crippled severely. Not kind of, it's very crippled. But I double into Prim as they go into Iron Valiant. Special attack drop me with their specs, but Draining Kiss gets it pretty much all back. And we still win the 1v1, thank God. I would have been really upset had that not happened. So they go into Raging Bolt and just revenge kill me with Thunderbolt. So special attack drop didn't really matter. I go back into Garg, who just Salt Cures it up, gets hit off something, and they both switch out for some chip and sack Miss Magius, which just completely dies here. Salt Cure doing a ton of damage for no attack investment. They bring back out Raging Bolt, and Garg super clutches here, lives the Dragon Pulse, and crits the Salt Cure, putting it in range for Stealth Rocks. Although I think it still would have been in range for Stealth Rocks had I not. Although it's like a roll at that point. So they both switch out into Talonflame as I bring out Rillaboom. They Roost here as I go for Knock, and it just does pretty much fucking nothing, which is really bad. Rillaboom's completely walled here, so I guess I could have... Actually, no, I'm thinking about it, I should have high horsepower there. That would have been sick. I wonder how much I would have done. If Knock does 95-ish, 97, it would have done like... Actually, it would have done a ton. It would have done like 80. Or 90 even. So, yeah, high horsepower would have been sick there. But I do just end up U-turning out as they finally get the Flame Body proc that they have been severely lacking. I go hard into Sneasler here, and I think to myself, do I SD, or do I just let a Dire Claw rip? Dire Claw, as many people know, it's very cheesy. 50% chance to either sleep, paralysis, or poison, and I'm thinking, those are pretty good odds, right? And even if they Wisp here, and I don't get anything, they're pretty much at half HP. I'm going to then SD on their Roost. I know, I'm so confident that they're Flamethrower, and I'm max HP, so I eat like 3 Flamethrowers before the 4th one kills me. And I can get plenty of SDs, and then I have even more chances to just Dire Claw hacks. I'm like, the odds are in my favor. So I just let a Dire Claw fucking rip. And then that bitch goes night-night. And Sneasler wins the game, killing Talonflame with a second Dire Claw, and letting the rocks kill the Raging Bolt after. So that makes us 4-0 in the summer seasonal. Holy shit. I was really worried going into this game. I thought Raging Bolt was a big threat. I thought Samurai was a big threat. Jirachi was like annoying with Iron Head. I was so worried about it, just Iron Head flinching all my shit, but luckily they weren't running it for whatever reason. So that's cool. But yeah, very happy to win. It was a good game. I ended up talking to the opponent a little bit after. We talked about like the sleep. They said they clicked a Wisp, and that we talked about whether I would still win because with the SD shit, and they agreed, yeah, I probably still won if I had SD, since I don't know, it just would have powered through, I think. So they also gave me the idea of running Facade, which I'm gonna keep in mind for the future because that's a sick set. So yeah, that was week 4 game. Sneezer fucking pulled through at the end. Chiyu got some kills. That was cool. Good game overall. Very excited to move on with a 4-0 record. Apparently, I talked to someone. I think if you win 5 games, you make it into the single elimination bracket. So I only need to win 1 more game to get there, which is really cool. I want to win them all. I've never wanted to win something so much than I have each of these draft games, and I'm really happy to be going undefeated right now. But you gotta remember that I can just fucking lose. Sneezer can just 50% sleep my stupid ass with Dire Claw, and it can just all be over. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, there should be a playlist for it right now. And I will see you next week with week 5.